a pretty cool but very confusing and not the most breaking news ever, but it is a cool study that was done yesterday, published yesterday, posted, and basically there are a few interesting extrapolations that we can make on this, and it's very complicated. I'm just going to read word for word what we're dealing with here, because some of this, it just goes over my head, I got to be honest with you, okay? I don't understand some of the stuff that we're about to talk about, but there are a few things that it doesn't take a genius to figure out what we're actually talking about here. So number one extrapolation is that the applications and markets of the Saphyr, as the CEO has said, are countless, essentially, and much more than the general public and orthodox thought and opinion on is, right? There's way more markets in this study. What they're doing here is proof of that. And number two, I would say there's several extrapolations, but the two most important ones, the second one is that the Saphyr is actually not screwed if it's not going to get a ton of sales for the purpose of just being its own genetic, its own soul, for a whole genetic niche. And I know that's kind of, that sounds, here, to further explain that, right, ape language, Saphyr can be used in a complementary way to other companies' products, right? And we're going to go into this study. There's actually two other companies that are using their tech. This publication here is actually using, they're using 3 different companies' tech to actually do this stuff. And that is a good thing, because that just further expands the potential addressable, the potential addressable market and the total addressable market and the serviceable, right? TAM, SAM, PAM, right? There's a ton of different addressable market, and it increases all of those metrics. So let's actually read this word for word. Thanks to Green Monster in the Discord. This is the only reason why I'm actually able to find this information. No one else has covered this, of course, because it's an extremely hard place to find, and I've not seen anyone else cover this. So I'm just going to read what he thinks. And this is actually, I believe all of this is actually taken up, to my understanding, just copy and paste from the actual thing. And then this is actually his thoughts. So, to conserve water and air environments, numerous plant lineages, yada yada. Okay, I don't even understand what some of this means. And basically, little is known about this right here. So certain type of plants, the evolution of this right here, in those plants. That's what there is not much known about. And essentially, that's what the study is for, to my understanding. I could be missing something here, but to further scaffold the assembly. And what does scaffold mean? It's kind of complicated, but in genome assembly, it's used to describe the first sequence assembly to which new reads are aligned. Once you have a scaffold, you don't depend on de novo, which means from scratch or from the beginning, from just doing it on your own is kind of, to my understanding, that's what it means. Assembly anymore, but can find a region to which any given new read is most similar and subsequently look for genetic variation. Generate a genome map using Bionano with the direct label and stain chemistry and DLE1 labeling. For this, high molecular weight DNA was extracted using the Bionano plant DNA isolation kit, hybrid scaffolding combining the Nanopore draft and Bionano map. And it was done on the Bionano Saphyr computing platform. So not only did they use the direct label and stain chemistry and DLE1 labeling from Saphyr and from Bionano, but they also used the Bionano Saphyr computing platform, which the name of is escaping me at the moment. I think it is going to be the Bionano In Focus, because that's kind of the software. But either way, I mean, that's the FSHD analysis, and that's the muscular dystrophy disorder. But anyways, either way, I'm missing the name of it, is escaping me right now. But basically, the software with Bionano, right? And we haven't really done videos on it, but basically, the software of Bionano is amazing, because it's really easy to see the information that you actually got, and it shows you the translocations, the deletions, all the the SV class types, and we're not even going to I shouldn't even be explaining this to you. I barely understand some of this stuff. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a geneticist. I understand the basics, and I understand the competition enough to know what's the best, in my opinion. But anyways, so that is good to know that not only are they using the Bionano tech of the Saphyr, right, the direct label and stain chemistry and DLE1 labeling, and the DNA isolation kit, the plant one. Also, they're using the Bionano Saphyr computing platform, so that software that you get in the kits or included in your package, I guess I should say. So Green Monster is talking about the fact that it involves conserving water, which he thinks will come into play more. And this is it's very complicated to study, but essentially it's just showing you, and I don't really fully understand. I mean, it's underwater, camp photosynthesis elucidated by. I mean, it's like what does some of this mean? I'm not sure. Feel free to illuminate and elaborate on what exactly. Someone feel free to use the free link in the description to come in here, go to the BNGO News Only channel, and explain to me exactly what would you classify the application of the Saphyr of. in this one. I guess you could just say that, but it's much more complicated than that, I would say. We're talking about scaffolding the assembly, then that's where they use the Saphyr. They also use the DNA isolation kit and the Bionano Saphyr computing platform. Like, what is the use of this in the future? Is this something that no one really does now? So I don't know. But essentially, it's more markets, more applications, more proof of concept. And if we actually go to the study itself, right? If we go down here, you can see that it was listed here a couple times, obviously, right? And then if we go up to the first find here, this is pretty big, right? Using Illumina, short reads, Nanopore long reads, and Bionano's optical mapping, and then it goes into this stuff that is very, very difficult to understand for me. But essentially, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that although that Illumina, Nanopore, and Bionano are being used in the same study to find more stuff. And obviously, they wouldn't have listed all of them or used all of them if it wasn't necessary. So you can see that it's not only necessary for Bionano to be used, but sometimes you need several technologies. And it's not necessarily, or you can flip it around, right? It's not necessarily you just need Illumina for that short read sequencing, but you also need some other technologies. For example, Bionano to get that greater than 500 base pair detection in those variants, those SVs, man. I mean, there's nothing that compares with Bionano in the greater than 500 base pair to mega base pair structural variation detection. That's as simple as it gets. So it's just more, I mean, it's just good to see, right? If Bionano was able to implore or get, or install, I should say, one Saphyr for every Illumina product, or every 5, or every 10, or every 2, whatever, that's just, I mean, that's hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions in revenue, right? If not net income. Because Illumina's got like some crazy amount of products installed worldwide. Okay, I think it's thousands or tens of thousands. So the fact that Bionano is being used with it is a great thing to see. And obviously, this was published on the 10th. So that is all I'm gonna say. I'm trying to be careful in this one with kind of explaining, and trying to say what I think, and trying to give you, my take on the study itself, just because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't read all this, okay? I mean, you can see they're dealing with plants here, and the scaffolding the genome assembly of this, and the underwater cam, photosynthesis elucidated by genomes. It's like, dude, I don't understand some of this, so I'm just going to be careful with that. And with that being said, there's not much other news with Bionano today. We're going to go over some of that in videos over the weekend, so we'll have plenty of time. Anyways, for this video, that's all I'm going to leave you with. I will also show you the current positions, because that just came up in my mind. I'm honestly surprised that I remembered to do this. I usually forget. I only show in the live streams, but there you go. If you ever get, if you're ever mad about the bears, if you ever think they're, getting mad at you, or they're bragging, they're making money, why should I be a bull? Why shouldn't I just go to be a bear? Because this is why. Okay, the money is not irrelevant, but for our little example here, for our usage, it is. No bear that is a long-term serious bear on Bionano and they think we're going to go to zero, right? Shorting at every freaking uptrend, not even covering really at all, right? Covering once in a while, but still just taking new short positions. None of them are up 78% in, since this, okay? It's not, none of them are up this much, and it's because Bionano has made huge achievements in the stock price and the company's fundamentals. Like, fundamentally, we're better now than we ever have been. So I just wanted to point that out. Anyways, with that being said, that's the entire portfolio. And with that being said, this is not financial advice. Thank you all so much. I will see you all in the next one.